Hello and good day, everyone. I hope you're well, having a better day than I am, as always. It is Miss Gray Matter coming back with a half year check in. We last left off, at least I recall, from with me sharing how I was able to successfully get myself back into college so that I can continue pursuing my bachelor's degree, as well as get campus housing, which temporarily relieves me of the unhoused portion of my journey, which is homelessness to housing stability journey. So it's now summer semester. I, of course, had to take that. Um, and I want to check in because that semester is coming to a close, and I realize I'm about to come up with the same reoccurring issue yet again. Am I going to be able to stay here on campus? So here is as follows. First, let's talk light and keep it going. So how am I doing in my courses? Taking two, because you need that to be required to be able to be on campus. So I took two and doing okay in one, and then the other one not so well. I surely feel like I'm going to get a D. And I realized this semester that I still have that prevailing self-sabotage habit in me where it's like I fear success or just the disappointment of putting my all into something with the hope of being successful just to be met with utter disappointment like I have when it came to me moving and just really feeling like all was going to go well and seeing that not only did it go unwell, it put me in very dangerous and precarious situations. And there's a part of me that as I say this, in my mind, those inner thoughts that are like, hey, you can't have that failing moment be what you continue to pull from to use as a compass and or guide for how you navigate future situations. It was one which was I don't want to say inevitable to happen, but it I didn't have the support that everyone else, many others do have and can lean on when something goes awry. And I have to continuously keep reminding myself of that. I don't have that privilege of that many others do. I don't even have a friend that I can go to lean on in times of doubt or uncertainty, whether it's emotional, mental, or in the physical sense of, like, hey, can I crash here, what have you. I don't have that. So I'm immensely underprivileged. So the fact that I was able to hold my own and up until the last year and a half, hold my own through the pandemic and all, is a feat in and of itself. Look at that. Hooray for that inner voice that likes to combat the inner critic, yeah? So there is that. And even though I know that, and my inner cheerleader pushes back against that inner critic, that inner critic, I realize, still wins. Which, again, circling back to how I am self sabotaging my success with these courses right now, which is what I need to pass in order to be in good standing to get more scholarship funding, which I'm obviously in dire need of, um, and just be able to transition into my bachelor's degree program officially during this fall. And I think as well as keep my on campus job that I've been thankfully able to get through connection. It was wild how I was able to get that. And it also, through that, it helped me realize that, yeah, how you present yourself truly does matter. And I'm not just saying in the physical sense, as in making sure you look clean, well groomed, all that stuff, no offensive smells, which is hard to do when you are homeless or experiencing homelessness. Or should I say unhoused? Like, come on. Semantics. It is what it is. Um, but not only that, mindset wise, not dipping into being overly disgruntled, or pushing, well, having those bystanders get the wind of your justified negative emotions that you feel as a result of the critical situation that you're experiencing as an unhoused, as someone who is facing housing instability, or simply just homeless. Compartmentalizing those emotions, I should say. It is hard. Not many can do it. Truly, not many. Oh my gosh, especially if you're experiencing it at a younger age than I couldn't imagine. So, yeah, so there is that. So I have that. So I have a little bit of money coming in now because that was one of the things that I did share. If I did upload it in my previous in my previous video, I was like, I need a job. I don't have one. It's hard to get one. Well, now I do. And baby, how we spending that first check? Because I got my first check recently is healthcare, healthcare. Yeah, it's healthcare. I guess you can see like hygiene. There you go. Hygiene products is what I'm spending it on. I'm trying my best to spend to save a small portion of it. But that first job, I mean, come on, campus jobs, they like go by the minimum wage that one can be offered. So it definitely was not much at all, baby. Shillings as compared to what I'm used to when I did have stable income. But again, that was in another sector, another field, my past self. Which is another thing to think about. Those segues. um, yeah, another thing to think about. Just how this whole experience itself, like I'm in college again, and I feel like I'm living like someone, and I think this is where I do have to get transparent about my age. I'm living like someone in their 20s, like in my 20s, I did what one would do in their 30s. I was hustling, bustling, job there, job here, just making that money. Well, I'm not saying six figures, but we were making a decent amount. I would say making up to, I was making like 45, 48 the max pre-tax by myself. Okay, on the East Coast, so it was expensive to stay. So pre-tax, so you deduct the tax, and I was still working class, still like paycheck to paycheck type of gal. But hey, we looked cute. We still look cute. So there is that. I was young, so I didn't really. I did save. No, I was good at saving, but the saving just didn't help me. It didn't help prevent me falling into the obscurity that I am now because I didn't have that privilege of being able to lean on into anyone for guidance, for help. It was just me, myself, and I frontal cortex still open and all. It's okay. That's another little glimpse of what was I like before I got into this situation. Hold tight to that. But going back to now, present time. So as I'm grappling with that, hey, you're in 30s and now you're doing what you should have been doing, well, what many have done in their 20s. It kind of breaks my mind a little just to be raw with it and not dress it up. Because it's just like I'm doing, this is my second go around doing higher education, fully formed cortex. And surrounded by people who don't have their frontal cortex formed. And I definitely feel like that helped me get that position where I'm at because it's in a place where discretion is paramount. How you present yourself is paramount because you're representing the office. And I understand this. That's why it's like, although I'm being personable and all that stuff, like, I know how to navigate the office, talk to people, talk to management, and so forth, and everything. It's required for that. So I get it. So, and I'm also thankful for that. So that's also why I'm annoyed with circling back the whole self-sabotaging behavior because if I don't keep a good GPA, I'm not going to be able to stay at that campus job. And given how I was able to actually get that job through word of mouth, if I'm not able to stay there, I wonder if that's gonna hurt me when it comes to getting any other. Hell, I may not even be able to get any other one. I am eligible for loans or what have you, so obviously I took that out. But 90% of them, when I did the math, it's just gonna go to housing, and obviously I'm gonna have to save the rest and be completely savvy with it in terms of like this is gonna be my bill for my phone and hygiene care, um, and try to buy hygiene care in surplus on as much discounts as I can find so that I won't have to think about it for some time. So there is that, and I still gotta pay for storage for my items that I'm still keeping. And I gotta ask myself a question: what can I get rid of? Because for me right now, dorming permanently, well, as permanently as I can, is the most valuable option for me. Going back out there to an off-campus apartment, it's not in my best interest. Did it once, and it's like the wild, wild west out there. More so since I don't have transportation, and in the state that I'm in, that is vital to get to where you need to go, cause round trips a day are like 60 minimum. That's with no tip. And many don't tip because they don't have it, and I get it. So there is that. So I gotta see what I gotta do. The other thing is, so that's, well, that's what just that gets into my insecurity, uh, with my check-in. The housing insecurity is still there because of that. Because also, there are intermissions between the semesters. Yes, you can do late stay, and that is a bit of an expense. Um, so I'm not sure. Oh, and also, if I don't keep an on-campus job, what little that I get from that, the little expense that I can get from that, I have to apply towards food. So there is that as well. And you know me, I do pescatarian diet because it makes me feel really good, vital and all that stuff, but also it's the cheapest. People don't realize that Mediterranean diets are really good on your wallet. For me, I found, and it's delicious and nutritious. So I guess that's one of the positives of being unhoused, dare I say, or no, one of the positives of having to be on reserve when it comes to everything is that it helped me transition to a diet that was beneficial for me. Cause yeah, I'm in my 30s, but I do not look like I'm in my 30s at all. I get the intensity of shock that I think I've only told a couple of people what my real age is. It is intense. Like they're not trying to humor me, make me feel good when they react to what they my real age is when they find out, and they always just say, "Wow, you look like you're in your early 20s." At Matt, your early 20s. If someone say 22, because the era of maturity, because like you can't fake. There, even if one looks younger than what they are, the vibe, how one holds themselves, for the most part, you have some exceptions, it just feels like different. Like, nah, you different. You different. You look like one of us, but do vibes and how you holding yourself ain't like one of us. What's going on? So, yeah, so with that, people just like assume that 24, that's what I've gotten from other adults that are actually my age, and others 19. And I get it because, like, when I look at the students here, I'm like, yo, what are y'all eating and what are y'all not eating? Because why you look like that? Some of them. It's just the fast food is killing them. But it's wild because like my younger siblings, they're in their 20s. Um, they they look young. They look like their respective ages. They do. But again, East Coast and the South also different too. That's when I've noticed as well. It's just really different out here. Um, so there's that. All right, talked about age, talked about housing insecurity. So I gotta figure that out. But I am not going to do the same mistake that I did transitioning from spring to summer semester when the housing insecurity popped up, which is mull over it, ruminate over it. I am just going to hope that I can get it handled and hope that I can stay on campus till I transition to August, where I will pay. I already paid my deposit, where I can pay for room and board again and be good and done with it. So there's that. I'll pay by loans, by the way. Oh God. I say oh God because I'm just thinking about what that bill payment is going to be when I get out of here. Hopefully, I may. Gosh. Look, whatever job I get, I'm still going to have to live like a pauper. Intensely so, to like just rah 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 push as much as I can into the repayments. Or hopefully I can get into some type of program where it'll actually pay my tuition for me. Let's see. I'll see. I gotta look into it. I actually talked to someone on campus in management that shared that's what they did to get their masters and so forth, and they pretty much left debt free, and they came from a background similar to mine where they had little to no family familial support, so that was very encouraging for me. So now we move on. So talk about that dating wise, what's going on? um we're still dateless. Oof, I don't even know if I want to open that Pandora's box yet. There's so much shame. Yeah, I was gonna stop myself from saying that because I'm trying my best to remove shame from my vocabulary, but sometimes you just gotta let it out. I do have a bit of shame with surrounding my dating life and how I've been. It's like gotta own it, be accountable. Like I just when we're not in the right state of mind and we fear being alone, we grasp onto anyone and anything that'll help stave off those feelings. And that's what I tell myself to comfort myself. Well, knowing that I had made an active choice to make the choices that I did. to be with those people that I did. Eh. So yeah, dating wise, I am single, and actually, again, I think I may have shared this in my previous video where I'm gonna try and stay away from dating until I actually get my bachelor's degree successfully, like completed. So let's see how that goes. It shouldn't be hard, because again, I'm like surrounded by so many young people, and it's just like, bro, get out of here. Again, complete your frontal cortex, because this ain't it. So there's little to no temptation here. Um, but that's not the same when I go off campus though, and broaden my horizon. So, but again, when I go off campus and do things, it's introverted stuff, and if I go to events, it's definitely gonna be like business oriented, and again, just for me. So I'll be in my own bubble, and people have already shared with me, guys, like that I dated again, not on campus. In the past that, yeah, you're cute and everything, but you would definitely be hard to approach. There's just, you give off the vibe that there's just no way in to approach you easily. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, it was very hard. It's come a long way to project that type of aura. Thank you. So I got that aura and demeanor intact. And I like it that way because it helps, stave off the, I was gonna say losers. So yeah, just malignant people. There you go. You're not gonna come to me correct. Don't come at all. um, and time wasters. So we're good there. Let's see the other thing. I guess I'll share this bit. Family wise, we have reconnected. I you know, referenced them indirectly. My younger siblings. I reconnected with them actually during my spring semester, so earlier in the year, a few months back. And I am still actively in contact with them. Alright, so talked about that. My siblings and re-entering my life. That is much as I like to be when it comes to transparency. So let's see what else we got here. Talked about those things, that dating, finances are starting to pick up. Oh, social life. We made one friend, which is good. I am due to meet with said friend once I get that money up so I can treat them and so forth. I'm not gonna do too much, just a little bit, but to come through, I want to go ahead and treat them, make them feel nice and all that stuff, to show appreciation. So there is that. I hope I can make more friends, during this upcoming semester. Um, I do want to talk about another habit that I feel like I will truly need to tackle, and to the point where I am not only aware of it being done, but am able to curb it when it tries to come to the forefront, which is, one of my traumas is the workplace and how I was treated there, how just, having just really toxic social dynamics with colleagues, coworkers, so forth. As I shared, I have another job now. And I see it surfacing itself where it's like getting close. I'm so scared of getting close, which is just a general um, wound that I have, like getting close to people because that whole fear of abandonment stuff and everything, and just it comes with being unhoused. It's hard to trust people because you don't know if they're going to take advantage of you. the judgment, once they see parts of you that aren't conventional, just all the things, you know? So that, and it's like in this environment, the way it's set up, well, just the way this culture is set up, um, you have to get past that. I have to get past that and get a handle on that because I am going to continuously be pushing people away to my own detriment, and I'm not going to be able to foster close relationships, fruitful ones at that, because they're always going to be like, oh, she's uncomfortable. To what your colleague had said to me recently. Um, but he was being annoying. He was gaslighting and all that stuff. Like, but he was being his full self. Has he done anything malicious to me? No. You're like, what? You just mentioned that he gaslight. Like, I'll do a whole nother topic on that. But, anyways, it's tough for me. I just, what gives me grace is me telling myself, like, do not force it. Let it come naturally, okay? Don't force yourself to be more open than you're willing to within the time frame shared. Let it happen naturally. And I have, because again, I know the repeating patterns of toxic relationships that have not been long standing is that you reveal too much too soon. And it's like as quickly as you open up, is as quickly as you can lose said person and the relationship overall. So, slow and steady takes the race. I just truly have to go with that pace and approach while retaining myself, professional self as much as I can while still being personal. The line, the whole workplace line. So that part, pretty good. Oh, so I guess I'm not doing that bad. um, I need to get on top of my courses. After this entry, I am definitely going to be transitioning into locked in mode, which consists of me turning in some assignments tonight. Oh my god. Oh, whew, that one's due at the end of the month. Whew, I got so scared. Wow. Yo, genuinely frightened. Oh my goodness. So there's that. Oh my gosh, fall is coming, and one of my habits, which is one that requires finances to be consumed, is, going to concerts. So I'm hoping I could save up so I can go back into concert mode. I want to be able to go into my safe space and concerts. Like safe space in terms of like my happy place. There you go. Concerts are my happy place. I love going to live concerts. It's what I like to do, and being able to go to them to me will make me feel like I'm me again. What I mean by that is like that this unhoused situation, all the trauma from it, is a bit push more. I was gonna say push to the back burner, but it not only dilutes it, but helps shave it down, if you will. Like I'll feel normal again, if that makes any sense. I'm trying my best not to break down everything and hope that those who are listening can get what it is I mean. Um, but there's that. And hopefully I'll be able to make some friends. I know the last one I was able to scrap some money to do, um, and go to. It was the person I went to see was not enjoyable, even though I enjoyed seeing them the last time I went to them. Another state, another place. So, and they were, anyways. But what was fun about that was again the people there, because cute thing happened is that, well, long story short, I got a free blunt. Just off of the good vibes. I'm like, woohoo, that shit. Yo, I only took one pull, and it was enough to fuck me up in a good way. So there is that. I feel good. I feel better now. Um, so let's see. So yeah, I'm hoping by the next time I check in, I am still housed. That I did better than I felt that I did when it comes to my courses, and that I'll be starting fall semester with, a good to decent to good standing. And it's just continuing to be up and up and step by step from there. It is tough. Oh, therapist didn't work out. Go figure. uh, but I would still like to have my conclusionary meeting with them. I pushed off on that because I just didn't have what I feel is the mental capacity for it, a mental and emotional capacity for it. But I think it's time because I mean, fall semester is almost upon us, and I would like to truly wrap up a lot of stuff that happened during spring and summer um, in a neat bow as much as I can. Lord, my procrastination. Um, let's see what else. Ooh, I did have something else. Oh, um, it had to do with. Was it some procrastination? Dang, you see that yawn just took all my thoughts with it. Now let's see. The other thing will be, and maybe this will be my last point when it comes to the check-in is, how am I feeling? I shared how situations in my life that I'm experiencing at present are making me feel, but not how I'm feeling outside of all of those. So I asked, so as I ask that question to myself, I say I feel pretty numb. I've been trying, I noticed my best to avoid sitting with my feelings. And that is because I don't know if I can handle it. Or I guess a better explanation of it is I'm scared that how I feel may disrupt the progress that I'm doing now, and I'll be stuck in this for lack of better explanation, this stage of rotting, phase of rotting, where I'm not able to get anything done, and I feel like I can't do that. And I say that despite still doing that because I won't allow myself to sit with my feelings and let those uncomfortable feelings pass. So it's funny how it's just ironic. Um uh I have to sit with my feelings, but I refuse to. I'm scared to. I don't want to. I'm tired of feeling uncomfortable by it all. I want to feel good. But in order to feel good, you have to get past the uncomfortable continuously. It is a cycle, I know. It's like knowing it, but still leaning into it and actively doing so are two different things. Despite being so close, gosh, stop it. I think I'm driving the point home. So there is that. Now, if I try to pry open that lid of numbness that I am pushing my feelings into, I would say that at the surface, we got some sadness there that feels like disappointment. Disappointment in the people that have entered my life, that I felt would better it, but it actually just hurt me. A recent one being a family member that I reconnected with, and and it was after years. And I'll just be a bit more transparent. It was a sibling where, like, I was estranged from them, and they got older, and I just thought they could hold space for me now. And it seemed like it, like emotionally more mature and all this stuff. And when push came to shove, as in, like, when we got into what I felt was a tiff, a small, minute argument, especially given what the nature about what it was about, which I apologize for, even though I'm like, yo, really this? But I'm like, do you want to be right or do you want to have a relationship? And it is what I asked myself, and obviously in my mind, I was like, I value the relationship over being right. So let's just go ahead and do what we need to do to get past it. It's the mature thing to do, yeah? Even though that was given, it wasn't enough. And it's not like I gave a sorry, not sorry one. It was legitimate, genuine, accountable apology. I'm sorry that my actions made you feel this way. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. And that wasn't enough for them. They harbored it. They kept it in. And they pretty much ghosted me. And it hurt more so since we promised each other that, hey, even if we get into arguments, etc., we're stuck with each other. We're gonna be in each other's life. And I strongly felt like I followed through. I even pressed them, like, what about our promise? Seriously, all that's going out the window? Are you kidding me? Didn't even reply to that. And I'm like, this fucking hurts. Because who I thought you are not. And even as I'm sharing that, I am like, my throat is getting thick. And obviously that hit on the whole abandonment wound, because it's just like, you expect people to be who they say they are, and when they show you otherwise, like, walk the talk that they're doing, and they fall short of it, it's just like, come on, seriously? I'm not even asking for much. It hurts. More so since I feel like it was like one of my and I'm talking at this volume because I truly hope that I'm not talking so loud that my, like, upstairs neighbor can hear me. Maybe I should go down and talk. But it's like I want to be in my bed and I want to talk in my bed, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Let me pause this and see. Yeah, I can't be bothered to move from this spot. I'm too comfortable. Okay. But hey, that did allow me some space and time to suck those tears back up. Um, but yeah, sucked. And I think it hurt even more because it's like, not only being the black sheep of the family, the whole estrangement, um, it did trigger the whole abandonment wound, and it made me think about just relationships with siblings, and just, to which I think I'm going to dedicate a whole nother episode to this, but just no one talks about when in estrangement, estranged adults, when they do reconnect with siblings, and try to make long term relationships, back up again. The difficulty in fortifying them after having them severed. And it's like I try to think about it on both sides, Like, they may have abandonment wounds as well, or just a lack of trust issues there in regards to, like, okay, well, you left before because of so and so was not to say you'll do it again, even though you say you're not. What actions to show? It was so easy for you to do that and leave for such a long time at that. What about now? And it's like, does that part of the trust ever get rebuilt? I don't really hear any dialogue much online about that. Just the whole sever the ties. But it's like, what about when you're able to grow and come back and want to grow with each other? What about that part? So there is that. Okay. I think it's time to close it off. Um, yeah. So with my feelings, with that, I'm dealing with hurt still. I think I'm slowly getting towards the end of it though. And I say that because my last standing thing that I will need to do in order to help me get some closure for it is just to write that this sibling an email regarding what took place. And yes, I am going to be a bit petty with having my own screenshots and so forth so that I can go ahead and include it and put it on. I had created a shared email address for us to have our photos that we took together when we met in person. So I'm gonna put all that in there so that if and when we do come back, when there's more growth, I'll be fair to say on both parts that we'll be able to reflect and look at what took place and see how we can grow from there. I guess I did intentionally say that with a question mark because I'm like, because one thing that will piss me the F off and make me feel so disrespected more than I do now is if it does go the route of us rekindling yet again, um, and we try to recount what took place, I know I'm definitely going to remember because I'm the one impacted by it the most, I feel, on my end. Can't touch base and confirm on their end if it's the same. But is if they were to say, I don't even remember what it was all about, that will piss me the F off because it's dismissive. So there is that. Luckily, with my other sibling, it's a bit older and closer in age to me, it is still going strong. But I do notice that I am not as frequent with my turnaround times with them as much as I was in the beginning. And I think it is due to that fear subconsciously of what if they leave me too? I hope the next time I check in, I am more healed in terms of like, I don't get triggered like this as much and I have more friends. So I guess yeah, obviously I'm gonna try and check in more frequently. I will, but like doing the biannual check in every 6, 7 months, I can report better, being in better standing than how I am now. There's people outside looking and saying I'm on the up and up. Can't wait to feel it. Alright, so I still feel numb, trying to feel the feelings. This is random. My perfect guy doesn't exist because they're fictional. I've also realized this. The sooner I realize that I am applying these absurd standards and way of being and communicating with fictional characters or even just attractiveness levels, then I think that'll help take some tint off of my glasses that I wear when it comes to dating wise. Not that I can date right now. uh, Other than that, we are trying our best to get sunshine. We are hitting the gym as much as we can, which is great. I do it a consistent 2 times a week. This week I took off because, hey, man, it's Aunt Patty's week, and I am just giving my body the rest it needs. It doesn't want to work out. So I'm like, we are not going to force you to. um, yeah, I think that's it for me. Truly, truly, truly. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. If you did, I'll definitely try my best to get markers up there. Just for each portion of the video, well, section, you know what it is. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm hoping to be in a better place than I am now. Miss Gray Matter leaving. Please know that your story matters. Keep sharing.